Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie. I am gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make fake whipped cream. Now, I went on ahead and took the liberty of kind of getting some stuff already started just for the purpose of this video. Otherwise, it's gonna be hours long. But I made several different whipped creams. Let me show you this one. I just made this one right now. So let me go ahead and just show you how I'm gonna make it. This one is a Thanksgiving one. I have some Christmas ones that I'll zoom in when I'm done. There are these ones right back here. But for right now, let me go ahead and just jump right into it. If you hear my kids in the background, I am so sorry. All right, first thing you wanna do is protect your hands. Go ahead and put on a pair of gloves. I also have a dust mask on that I'm using from the Dollar Tree. So you might wanna go ahead and get one of those, but to be honest, you kind of still smell the fumes. They don't really work all that well. Okay, let's talk about this piping bag first of all. The Dollar Tree has a piping bag. It comes with 5 tips, and don't get me wrong, the tips are amazing, but the bag is basically trash. It really is. I'm using one of my Wilton bags, and this makes the job so much easier, I promise you. Next, I have a piece of foam board. I cut it in half. I'm using half to work on. And the other half, what I did was I just cut out these little tiny pieces and used parchment paper. What you're gonna need to do is you're gonna need the parchment paper, the foam board, and Scotch tape. Scotch tape this all up. I tried using painter's tape. Painter's tape would not hold. So I just used Scotch tape. Next, I used painter's tape to go on the bottom of the foam board, and I'll show you that in just one moment. I got these little tiny cups, these little bowls from the Dollar Tree. I got 6 to $1, and what I ended up doing is the first thing I did is I got my cup, with your cup of your choice. I'm using Dunn. Everybody knows they're not perfectly circular. Perfectly circle at the top. They're like misshaped. So whatever shape that you want your whipped cream to fit, make sure that you use that cup to trace. I used it on a cardstock. That's the first thing I did, was this little cardstock. And then I used the cardstock to trace around the foam board. Honestly, you could go ahead and just directly put your cup on the foam board and trace it that way and cut it out. If you have an X-Acto knife, that would work better. I used scissors, but it did leave jagged edges, as you could see. Also, if you guys have a white foam board, that's better. They only had black, so I had to use black. Okay. Next, you're gonna also need some sort of glue. I'm using E6000. So what I did was I got my cup, I traced on the cardstock, then I traced on the foam board, cut it out. I glued the cardstock to the foam board, glued this little bowl to the cardstock. So now it looks like so. I ended up getting painter's tape, putting it on the bottom. Now it probably won't stick since I got the spackle on there, but I got the painter's tape and I ended up putting it on top of the little foam board with my parchment paper, just so that way it will stick. And like I said, because I got it dirty, it's not going to stick, but you want it to stick enough where it's sturdy, so when you start piping your whipped cream, it doesn't slide all over the place. But when it starts to dry, actually, you need 24 hours for it to dry. And when it does dry, the reason why you need the parchment paper is because when you go to lift it off, like so, I'm going to show you this one. When you go to lift it off, you don't want the parchment paper to stick. Not the parchment paper. You don't want the foam to stick to the parchment paper and, you know, break off. But so see, this one's already done. This one's a Christmas one. So that's why it's really important to have the parchment paper. This will pull right off, and this will go right on top of your mug like these here. Let me just kind of pull this forward a little bit, but that's what they are. They're just the little whipped cream toppers. Now, I saw these on Etsy for like anywhere range from, I think, $25 to $35. To me, that was just a little too much for faux whipped cream. So let's get right into making it. Spackle from the Dollar Tree. You're gonna, however many whipped creams you're gonna need, basically let's just say one of these will make one whipped cream safely. You're gonna want your choice of sprinkles. Today I'm gonna use, because I already did Thanksgiving and Christmas ones, and to be honest with you, I had some Christmas sprinkles set aside. I filmed this video already, but I had too many interruptions. I had my phone ringing, my kids screaming in the background, so I'm just gonna do a rainbow one because I've already separated them. And if I continue to separate them, I will never get this video done. Next, I'm using white chalk paint. You can use whatever paint you want. If you want, it makes whipped cream look a little whiter. That's why I'm just using white. But if you wanted strawberry whipped cream, you know, you can use red. And if you wanted chocolate whipped cream, use brown. You know, so on and so forth. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this bowl. This bowl came from Dollar Tree. It's a disposable bowl, because as soon as I am done with this, I might keep it for arts and crafts, but you don't want to, you know, eat out of it even if you wash it real good, because, you know, it says that this stuff, you know, causes cancer and all this other stuff. But you might be thinking, then why are you using that? But if you think about it, what product nowadays doesn't cause cancer? I wish there was. So just to be on the safe side, wear your mask, wear your gloves, and you should be good to go. So, oh my God, and as I take a deep breath in, this dust mask kind of does nothing for me, but it's better than nothing, I guess. And of course I got a jar of paint that no paint wants to come out. But here we go. Let's kind of move this along a little bit. You don't have to use a ton of paint, but if you look real closely, the spackle kind of has like a hue to it. It's almost like a gray hue. So I don't know, I'm not, you know, kind of digging that color, and I wanted it to be really white so it'd look real pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. That should be good. And actually it might go along a lot faster, and if you use those little tiny squirt paints from Michael's, those might be good too. And then last night was the first night I've ever made these. So, and then tonight I just made a couple. I probably spent a total of $10 to $15 on this little project, but I made a total of 5, 6. This would be the 6th topper. So I just thought that was, you know, way cheaper than Etsy or the other people that were selling them. Okay, so I stir just to get a nice consistency and just kind of, you know, make it look like actual whipped cream. And this stuff is super, super light. And you got to kind of work fast because it does dry super fast. I have some already in here that I'm going to go ahead and use. Let me try to push this down. You know what? Also, if you're going to make some, and let's just say in a couple of days, you're going to make some more, use this bag. You can reuse it. Wash it out and just make sure you clean everything real good, and you can just go ahead and reuse it. And another reason why I like this bag is the Dollar Tree bag. Granted, it was $1. It didn't hold a lot of the piping, and once you get going, it's best to not stop. You know what I mean? Once you start piping, it's best to finish the job before you have to stop and refill the bag, and you know, it's just kind of a pain. All right. Now, and the good thing about the Dollar Tree tips is they're kind of see-through, so you can actually tell where, you know, the stuff's coming out or not. This has like a little bit of nasties on it. Okay, now we go ahead, take our little bowl, and we're gonna go ahead and pipe. You don't have to use a bowl. I saw people use like this little foam thing, although I highly recommend you stay away from this foam thing, because as soon as it starts breaking off, that foam's everywhere. So that was basically $1 wasted. That was not a good idea. But the bowls seems like it gives you a good solid base, and this little whipped cream topper ain't going nowhere. So let's go ahead and start piping this. Oh, really quickly, See how the foam is right here? You're going to want to pipe along the bottom first. Don't worry, it won't stick as long as you're using parchment paper. So let's just kind of move this along. And see, and I've taken this particular bowl off this parchment paper, so now it's not sticking, but that's why you need the painter's tape. Once you get past the bottom part, you know, where this is like the biggest pain right here, it's nice also using the bowl, because since it's see-through, you know, you don't have to like turn your head a whole bunch to try to look at the other side. And this stuff is pretty forgiving. You just don't want to play with it too much, because then it loses, you know, the shape that comes out. Okay. Now, and if you guys hear my kids in the background, I'm very sorry. I've told them to be quiet a whole bunch, and they're little and they're just, I don't know, having a blast in the back room. Alright. You just want to continue going around. And then you might have to stop and open this bag. Can you guys even see that? Let me adjust that. And push it all the way down. You're going to have to continue doing that. Making sure you guys can see this. I don't want just my hands in the way. And of course my hands are in the way, sorry. And if you guys are part of the decorating group on Facebook, go ahead and just introduce yourself in the comments below. I know a couple of the ladies said that they were interested in seeing how this was made. So I'm just kind of interested in seeing how many people from the decorating group are the ones that are tuning in. And if you're new to my channel, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. That would be nice. And you can join our little Facebook family. So here we go. This one, actually, I love the way it turned out. It's so cute. And because, like I said, I've already went and separated through all the sprinkles. Let me just kind of reach over the camera. Sorry. I'm going to just show you this one. I just filmed this one, but my kids were screaming, hooting, hollering. So I don't think anybody wants to hear that. But that's a little Christmas one I made. So that's why I'm refilming this over. But here's a little Thanksgiving one I made. I just did the little bit of brown and yellow sprinkles. There we go. Little brown and yellow and orange sprinkles. There was a couple of red on there too. But this one's going to be, I can put this one up and have it be like a birthday cake one or something. So keep in mind, these sprinkles fall off real easy, but you could get a pair of tweezers and add them on. Okay, so some of these don't have nowhere near as much, but if you look at how many fell off, I still didn't end up with too much on. But the good part is you can go, and you don't want to touch it because it'll ruin the design, but just kind of, you know, put them on, and that looks so cute. Okay. If you're a perfectionist, you can use some tweezers, but I'll be lucky if this lasts me a couple of days with these kids around. No, I'm just kidding. They're not that bad. They're all boys, but, you know. You moms out there, you know. Anyways, but there you go. There you have it. A little bit of whipped cream is so cute. Alright, guys. And if I did not go over anything, because, like I said, I filmed this video so many times, and I swear I went over everything, but I may have did it in the last 100 videos I made. So if I did not go over anything in this particular video, please, please, please comment down below, and I will definitely answer. I will make sure I do that. And if you guys have Instagram, go ahead and tag me in it so I can see. I would love to see how your guys' little faux whipped cream come out, or if you guys found an easier way to do it, or just whatever. My Instagram is The Mommy Life, And that would be great. And I'm not sure if you can tag on YouTube. I'm fairly new to YouTube, but if you can tag on YouTube, tag me in it. I would love to see your guys' faux whipped creams. And if you guys just like this video, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up, and go ahead and feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks, guys.